Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the SZR Racing Series. We are already out on course with the race over in the Vulcano. They'll be doing the Vulcano flat loop today, and according to ZwiftPower.com, it's going to be 23.3 miles or 37.5 kilometers today for 3 laps of the flat course. A quick little bit of race information before we go and check out what the riders are up to out on course. So this is a 12-week series. I believe they're about 8 into it. We had to miss a couple of the races in the series, but we're right back with it. And there are no TT bikes allowed in this race. Power-ups are disabled in this event module, so you won't be seeing any of that during this race. And there are categories that are A, B, C, D, and for the women as well, there is a women's category. And so there are currently series leaders and all kinds of craziness going on when it comes to the series and how it is playing out. And it's actually starting to heat up pretty well, so we'll get right into that. But let's not miss too much of the race, as the riders have just entered into the Vulcano Reverse. They're doing the Vulcano Reverse today. Let's take a quick look at exactly what that course is going to be looking like. And so they have already actually entered through the Vulcano and are exiting it currently right now. But as you can see, a very flat course out there today. It's the flattest course actually out on Watopia. So really cool to see them using the new Zwift course that was just released in the last couple months here. And a lot of the racers seem to be liking it. It's going to be a very tactical race, though, I think, with a lot of groups because of the way that it is very flat, and the groups will be able to use the drafting really well out on course today. So, SZR series, here we go. We do have S Jobber at the front already here. They've already come through the Vulcano one time or another, heading on over toward the Italian village. And as you can see, he did put in a little dig there, up in that 9 watts per kilogram or so for just a moment coming out of France here, but then Stelling's maybe making a little bit of a counter. It is a lead group of over 17 riders. It looks like maybe even into 20 plus riders, I would believe. It does populate with group riders nearby. 17 is the total, I believe, that we do see or so on the right hand side here. And as you can see, there is a large group that has formed at the front of the race already, containing a lot of the contenders actually for the overalls in the series. I'm going to go ahead and open up here the the series standings currently, so we can get a good idea of where things are at. And within the A category, and right now we are looking at a lot of the A racers. There are a few B racers that have made their way into this front group as well as they head into the old Italian village here. This newer section that was recently released with the Vulcano expansion. Absolutely loving it. And we can see the really nice look here on the left-hand side of these old buildings. They will be heading up toward the fountain here in just a moment here. And this is a little bit of a kick. Probably the only one that has any significance, I believe, out on course here today. So about a 3% gradient with a couple of S turns, and also with as you can see here, as we move backwards, there's going to be a little bit of dust in some of the riders' faces, and you can kind of start losing sight of what is happening at the front. So this might be a point of contention each lap out on the, yeah, definitely. As you can see here, Jay Hansen hammering away in that Quebec kit, looking like he's riding unattached out of Denmark, with Stellings from the BRT team, the Bolt Racing team, trying to catch back up to him as well. It looks like Wallstrom here trying to follow that attack from the SZ team, the Swedish team there, and then Vandenberg here as well from the Bolt Racing team trying to follow Petit. Ridholm might be making it. We'll see if he can do so. Kay Zander also coming from the Swedish team here, able to hang on to this straight line. But as you can see, as we always say, when it gets in this straight line, people are just suffering trying to hold on to the wheel that is immediately in front of them. It looks like the elastic is about to snap for a few riders out on course here. So now the BRT rider here, B. Ronnie here, just following wheels as at this moment, 178 beats per minute, making sure his heart rate doesn't get too maxed out, it looks like. And I believe we are going to see the first formation of the break in the A race after they made their initial break, I believe, immediately from the peers. So Schroer here coming out of Germany, looking pretty good and sitting in and amongst a group now that has established itself of, I would say, about 12 riders or so. We do have a few more. Legestron now, V Mail as well. They're going to take a right-hand turn over onto Ocean Boulevard. to remain flat. If they were going to go forward there, they would have ended up on the reverse KOM, and so definitely not a flat course at that point. One of the longer climbs out on the Watopia course. But V-Mail from the KISS Racing Team, KRT here out of Norway, actually letting himself be known at the front with a little bit of a counter, it looks like, just to make sure that things don't get back together with the chasers. Now we do have M. Kolklov here coming out of Great Britain, one of the stronger riders amongst the Bs, I believe. I think he was winning the B. Yep, 113 points overall right now with only 6 races in. 9 races for Jonathan Blomqvist, so it is 9 races in that they are total, because I believe Jonathan has done them all, and Steve Nordstrom as well with 9 races, chasing down with 3rd place in this series right now. So Mark is the current leader that we're looking at right now in the B category for this series. We'll go ahead and give him a ride on as he gets back on to the pack right now. So and then back with the A's though, let's go ahead and see what's happening with the A's. Still, Philip Diner with 8 races total. Standa Kamarek with 8 races, and then Joachim Sorgen also there as well with 8 races with 56 points. Philip is sitting at 167 points. And he's done a really great job of establishing himself. It's the best 10 out of 12 races. I'm not sure that if he didn't race any longer, if he would even be able to be caught. Standa could grab 50 points, and he would not be able to chase down Philip at this point. But now here's the thing. We're at race, we've got 3 races left, right? And if some of those races that Standa Kamarek had, who's currently sitting in 2nd place, and I believe he is in the race. We did see him just a moment ago. Let's go ahead and see if I can find the rider. There he is. So he is here today. And it looks like for that Bolt Racing team, we're looking right at him at the back of this lead group right now. And I have not seen Diner in the group at all today, though. So that would mean that he's got 34 races in. The last race he did was on the 15th, and he won it. So that's where he's bringing back some of these points at this point. He also won the race on the 8th in the SZR series. So the last 2 races that he's done in the series, it looks like he's taken the W in them. And, I believe that was because Diner did not show up to the last 2. And if he continues this, I believe he may start knocking on the door, because if he's going to start gaining 50 points at least, if he keeps on getting these wins, to give him a total of 10, right? And then some of those placings that he had prior to that might go away if he continues to win, but he has to win. That's the thing. Now it's all on the line, and it's coming down to the exactness, those moments where it's like, okay, we have to figure out, do the numbers, do the math. What do I got to do to pull this off? Which races are my worst races? Because as a best of 12, your best 10 out of the 12 situation, it definitely is going to give him an opportunity to drop a few of those races off that he's done. I mean, he's done a ton of them too. He's only missed 1 race out of the series so far. So we are with the A's here. It looks like 17 seconds is the difference now. Back to Sundstrom, as well as Jobber Authors in there, and then Cox Kirby there. Nordstrom, as we were just talking about, a part of the B category race. Let's go ahead and see what Zwift Power has to say for the live results. If you haven't checked it out already, make sure to head on over to zwiftpower.com. That is the place where you can see all of the live results, as well as all of the past results for all of the riders. It looks like that it updated last at about 0.3 kilometers in, so we'll wait for it to update again when they come past the start-finish line. Is probably the next place that we will be getting an update from the toolswithpower.com. I am turning on our social media integration right now, and so if you would like to interact at all with the broadcast, make sure, I will bring in a little bit of the Facebook, but we also have at Z Community Live. If you go ahead and tweet at Z Community Live, you can get your tweet featured in the broadcast, as well as interact directly, ask questions, we answer your questions, and bring that into the coverage here. So good to see Jason Emery in the house. I believe Jason Emery is here, as well as Christian Stevens, and then Elvis France. Good to see you guys cheering on France, it looks like. And Billy asking about Beam. We are going to specific places on specific dates, so just make sure that you hit that follow button over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Zwift Community Live. If you are looking for streaming on a streaming platform, we will be over there as well. So just so everybody knows, Facebook is a great way for you guys to be introduced to streaming. It's a really, really amazing for being able to connect to everybody out there, because everybody's on Facebook, right? But as far as sometimes the quality, it might not be absolutely amazing or awesome, but we are sending out an amazing and awesome high quality stream, though, in 1920 by 1080, but also has the ability to, on those other streaming platforms, you have the ability to manipulate what kind of a feed that you're getting, so you can lower that resolution, do all kinds of stuff. You have community chat that's a little more interactive and stuff, so highly suggest that you check out our actual streaming platforms that we are using out there in the world. And you can find all those at ZwiftCommunityLive.com, ZwiftCommunityLive.com. All of the links immediately when you get to our splash page are right there. You hit that Twitch link and you'll be able to find where we're at over there. And if you hit the follow button over there, you get an email update every single time that we go live with any community stuff that's happening. Racing, group rides, updates on amazing challenges that people are doing, like Chris Hopkinson that he's up to, the Hoppo Man right now, absolutely out there killing it. There's a lot going on that we're up to, and it isn't always on Zwift's Facebook that we are broadcasting that out, so you can definitely make sure to follow at those other places that are all linked on our community page. So it looks like if you guys want to interact, though, make sure you do so over at Z Community Live for the Twitter integration. And I am seeing the chat now coming in from Facebook. Just finishing up the first lap of 3 now. We are with Schroer, and it looks like leading it out with V-Mail as well from the KRT team. Does have about a 3-second gap, actually. He was able to gain that coming out of the underwater tunnel, it looks like, on that canyon bike here with the zip wheels here, it looks like. And Ridholm now 4 seconds back, and the pack doesn't seem extremely interested in chasing him down at this point. The Swedish team just kind of letting him go off the front now, or maybe they're unable to. Let's see here. Lindroth, though, 162 beats per minute. I do not believe that is the case. I believe Lindroth might have enough in the legs. We do not have an update just yet from ZwiftPower.com. We're still waiting for it for the current results. And actually, Lindroth does not have a link on his name over at ZwiftPower.com, so we couldn't look at his past results as far as them being stored, but he does have a history, at least in the last 2 weeks, that is picking up from Strava, 20th and 18th and a 16th place, it looks like. So maybe going to be looking for a better result into the top 10 if he keeps it up at where he's at right now, as they come past the piers now and start their second lap on the Waltopia Flat Volcano course. 16:22 or so, about 16 minutes is what it took them to finish that up. So I believe it's going to be right around a 50, probably 48 to 50 minute race. There's another attack now going out from the pack here from Hansen. He sees that Mail maybe a threat here and is not going to be coming back to the pack at all. Now Wallstrom following very quickly, getting on that wheel. This is going to be a moment of truth for the pack. Now P. Hicks is here as well. Pan then trying to make the follow. It looks like 8 watts per kilogram, consistently closing it down. 3 seconds to Mail. Mail sees him that he's coming in. It looks like he's going to try and grab on the wheel, but he's trying to speed it up now, it looks like, V-Mail, as he knows that the kind of speed that Hansen's going to come up to him with is going to be monstrous. Now it looks like, though, Hansen backing off a little bit, and now he's going to work with Mail. We do see that Wallstrom was able to make that juncture as well. Ridholm is there, and now we do see that Komrek, the rider that we've been talking about this whole time, is able to make that up to that wheel as well here. So now halfway through the pack, you can see that split, and there they go off the front again here. Schroer and Mail, who just seems to have power all day long, 172 beats per minute there. The German rider here, Schroer, 177. Legestron now 164. Let's see where Legestron's standing as far as in relation to his heart rate. He does max out at 195. He's sitting at 161. At least that's the max that we've ever seen from him all time. Going on over to his SwiftPower.com, coming out of Sweden. They're riding for the SC team, 367 watts for his FTP, 46 races, and he's won a lot of races in the last few weeks here. Won the WBR one lap flat yesterday, it looks like, on the 21st. SZR Evening Joyride, looks like solid ride for him in the Evening Joyride also, a W. And then on the 16th WBR 4-lap flat race, also winning that one. So Legistron definitely one to watch out for in the race today for that SC team. He's definitely going to be battling it out, it looks like, against Mr. Comrock today. Yeah, it's good to see you in the channel. There goes Hansen. That boy can just sit in a pack just like in real life. And it looks like Jens might know Hansen in real life. That's cool to see a little bit of connection with the community, both in real life as well as in the digital world here. Lindroth now back at the front, holding things down as they make their way through the volcano. These nice shots here that we're getting of the new addition. As you can see here, a lot of SZ team members, though, as you can see in this group, holding things down at the front. 1, 2, 3 riders, all SZ. As you can see at the front in that Training Peaks kit, that is the kit they use. But now you can see these 3 right here in that Power Tab kit, the BRT boys, 1, 2, 3. Also in there. So as far as the teams that are going to be watching out for each other and communicating most likely with each other through some sort of a Discord app, or at least trying to use tactics that are fairly well known, throwing people off the front, seeing if the chase is made, and just following wheels in order to get back on terms. And we do, again though, it is 17 riders or so on the front of this race. Not too many were dropped off as they made those attacks out of the piers and up into the back, the front or back end of the SCs, and then they took that right-hand turn into the volcano. Nobody really dropped off at this point from those attacks. They're a lap and a half in almost to this race. And the next attack I think that's going to happen as they come through the S-turns, climbing into the Italian village over to the water fountain. I think that's going to be the spot to be watching out for these A riders. We are going to try and cover the B race as well here. As you can see, G Petit here coming out of France. It looks like hanging in the back. Let's go ahead and see as we wait for things to open up a little bit more. Good to see you, Edward Wiley. Thank you so much for the compliment. We really appreciate it. And as they do open up the race a little bit more, let's try and see what's going on with the racers out here. Everybody is marked as an A category racer, though, in the live updates right now over on SwiftPower.com, I think because they all started in the same race. And so, but I can see at least what they did designate themselves as in the race here on SwiftPower.com's live results. So it looks like Nordstrom, actually no, Kolkloff was able to make it, as well as, is Nordstrom actually in the lead pack? I'm going to have to look through here and see if he has made it into the lead group here. I believe he may have fallen off at some point, as I'm not seeing him. And it looks like Kolkloff, who is the current series leader in the B category, was able to make the juncture at about 4.1 watts per kilogram right now. And let's go ahead and take a look at what he's been up to as of lately. 14 races total. So actually, he's just been focusing in on the SZR series mainly, it looks like. And he actually raced it on the 15th. The last one he did do it. It was on Watopia Hill. He reversed the last time that we had this race at about 3.84 watts per kilogram for the duration. And he took a bronze, actually. So maybe... let's go ahead and see how that played out. It looks like in the B category, it was Joan Odegaard, actually. Joan Odegaard, followed by Steve Nordstrom, and then Mark Kolkloff. And I think that might mean that Nordstrom is starting to bang on the door, at least, of second and first place, actually. And but Nordstrom, unable to make this lead group, it looks like, is going to Unless Koklov actually fades and goes backwards from this group. 153 beats per minute sitting in amongst these riders. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but here comes the attacks as we were talking about in the Italian village here. They are definitely kicking up a ton of dust, as you can see here, trying to get away from these riders, and this is one of the only spots out on course that you can really make that happen. There goes Ridholm, 8.1 watts per kilogram. Shore now coming right alongside him, and they're going to take the right-hand turn toward Ocean Boulevard, and this is a moment that continuance does matter, because it goes into a flat for just a moment, but then it does kick up again. And so if they continue on with this speed, as you can see, the break is happening behind them there. We've got the French team now following up very closely. Jay Petit now is in there as well, trying to hammer away. 4.9 watts per kilogram, 170 beats per minute. Ferguson is there as well, and he has made this break. Mayo, Hansen, Ridholm, and now it's still 5.1. They keep it consistent. I'm not sure they're going to be seen again. We do see the SZ team now getting super organized now with Xander then and Wallstrom all still together. They pull it right back in, but now 2 seconds back, 3 seconds back. It looks like it will be P. Hicks that's going to be biting the dust off the back. Epan is there as well. Opitz, and then Koklov, as we were talking about, was he going to be able to hang on with this group? Was not able to do so. Now 3.9 watts per kilogram. Mac D is there with him as well. If these two work well together, we may be able to see them hold off any of the chase groups. We cannot see what the time gap is currently between them, but we definitely have a situation where the leader in the B series might have some threats chasing him down. According to ZipPower.com, we will see what the gap is from the last time that they came through. It looks like it was about 40 seconds, the last time they came through to the chasers in the B category. I'm looking through, and I believe Nordstrom is most likely going to be a part of that, because he was a part of the race early on, though, but now I'm actually not even seeing him. S. Nordstrom, 17th place. He was in 17th place the last time they came through. So he was just off the back of those leaders, and he's most likely a part. Yep, there he is. 120. 120 is the difference right now in this B category race, actually. 122 now, and it's coming down very quickly. And it's going to be up to these two riders to hold that off over a lap and a half now in order for Koklov to hold on to the points that he desperately is going to be wanting to hold on to better his results in the overall series right now. Nordstrom still with a little bit of light, I think, though, at the end of this race. He's got some hope out there, and he's got the riders in his sights now, as he can see, at least in the riders nearby on the right-hand side, what kind of time he's got to make up. But now it is going to be 16 seconds up to P. Hicks and Epan, who did fall off the pace as well, and that's what Mac is going to be thinking about, who's only 14 seconds back from these riders. Things just absolutely exploded out on course, completely blown apart by those huge watts that were thrown down by these boys at the front in the A race, going into that Italovich, up deals S turns. Now Vmail, Vandenberg, Schroer, Ridholm now at the front, taking their turns to really bring that gap out. It's 20 seconds already. I don't think these boys are going to be seen again. So as you can see here, it is, I think, going to be about 12 riders, 13 riders or so on the front. We'll call them all out. Legestrand's there. Petit is there. Lindroth. De Silva is in there as well. We do see Wallstrom from the SC team. Stellings from the BRT team. Vmail. Schroer. Komarick has made it. The rider that may be able to be knocking on first place overall in the A category against Diner. He has made it as well. Xander. We haven't talked a lot about him. Kay Xander has made this lead group. Ferguson's in there. De Silva is in there, it looks like. And De Silva definitely one to watch out for in the race today. I've seen this boy throw down huge water bazookas in the sprint. So a lot of riders. I think it's going to be anybody's race at this point currently. As far as past results go, I'm going to go ahead and open up De Silva's past results. We were seeing in the Kiss Europe rate, he took 20th overall. His best results in the last couple weeks. On the 9th, he took a third place in a WBR 3 lap, and then there was all bronzes actually in the week of March, the first week of March or so, right around that time. Had some killer results, it looks like, and has broken into a lot of top 10s, but no podiums for him in the last couple of weeks. So maybe De Silva going to be able to pull something off here, and he hasn't been too active at the front of the packs at all. So I think he's following wheels, playing it smart. And we are seeing that his peak power numbers for 15 seconds up into that 600 or so. So I think he's going to be hard pressed and going to have to play his cards correctly here. No power-ups allowed in this race, so it's just mano a mano. What do you got for power out there today? Good to see Carries and Marks. Reese, good to see you in the chat. It says good effort, guys. Everyone on the leading group using a power meter. That's a good question. It looks like almost everybody. Vandenberg is not on a power meter coming out of South Africa. He is on Z Power. But everyone else in this lead group, and Vandenberg has been pretty consistent in his heart rate level, so I believe that he's got a verified trainer. At least he can go over 400 watts. He is not capped, so he is set up fairly well, and I believe fairly honestly. But Enshore, Lindros, Stellings, we do have Petit here as well. They are all definitely, besides one rider, it looks like all on some sort of a power source. But on a strain gauge power meter, I'm not sure about that, Fosca. As far as verification from Zara approvals, I don't believe I'm seeing any of them that have had to do that and have gone over the 5 watt per kilogram marker in the races at all. So looking through here now, we can see about 39 seconds back, E Pan right along with Opitz and then P Hicks making this chase. We do see in the Diane Baker, it's good to see you in the chat as usual, and great to have you here for the broadcast. It's also really great to see that you've been racing and participating in some races. Very, very awesome to see you take that up after watching some of the broadcasts. So looking through here, it looks like these boys, the next point that they're going to be hitting that's really going to matter for the race is going to be the 3% gradient out of this underwater tunnel right now on Ocean Boulevard. And we do have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? There's 4 riders in the Trading Peaks kits now here. Riding for that SZ team, actually. So Xander here. Let's go ahead and look at the Swedish team and get an idea of what is going on with each of these riders. Rydholm in his past results, a 4th, a 6th, and an 8th coming out of Sweden. 13 races total. He took a first actually on the 2nd of February. It looks like as well, but didn't have a heart monitor on, which is too bad. But it looks like 4th, a 6th, and then an 8th place all in the last month and a half coming from Mr. John Rydholm coming out of Sweden, and he is in and amongst this lead group right now. His teammate Xander is right there with him, also attacking 7.1 watts per kilogram, and it looks like Hansen going again 186 beats per minute. This is a rider that we haven't talked about much at all, actually. Hansen. Jens was chatting about Hansen a little bit in the Facebook chat, actually. Let's go ahead and open up James Hansen's past 77 races coming out of Denmark here, and a 3rd place in the XRS, and that's an intense race. To take a 3rd in the XRS series is a big deal. Right alongside the KISS races, they're some of the fastest races out on Zwift. This one being the other one as well. The SZR series has really shown itself to be a very strong race to watch out for. But a lot of the big hitters showing up to that XRS Tuesday Night Worlds, and that was just yesterday, a 3rd place coming from Jay Hansen. So definitely one to watch out for today if you can take a 3rd in that race. And then the XRS on Thursday, on the 9th, he took the win actually on the Hilly Reverse. So and then a 3rd and a 3rd all in the last couple of weeks. So all podiums for him all the way back to the 4th of March. Last time he was not on the podium in the race that he participated in was actually on the 2nd of March. So definitely one to watch out for, I think, Hansen. We do see Mail now, again, attacking off the front. Looks like he's learned a little bit from his teammate Tim Cartwright with this steady Eddie off the front, TT-like effort, 4.1 watts per kilogram. We're going to have 1 lap to go as the rain starts out on course here. 1 lap to go. The bell lap has begun out on this Watopia Flat Vulcano reverse today that the boys are doing here at the front. Looking back now, we do see Xander. They've been racing for 31.56. I believe they did speed it up a little bit for that lap, just a little bit. And Legistron then also from the SC team. A lot of SC's boys just following those wheels. It doesn't look like Mail's going to get away from these boys. They're just kind of letting them dangle off the front and burn a match or two. It's good. The question is whether or not he's going to have the continuance up and over this kick, because this little climb here, the riders that are sitting in at this point and relaxing, resting, not having to put out anything over threshold much at this point, because everybody in this lead A group is definitely going to have the kind of wattage that is into that 4 to 5 watts per kilogram, right? That's the assumption of anybody who is riding in the A category, is that they can put out 4+ watts per kilogram for their FTP. So these boys that are sitting in here, and you see those 3 minus or 3 to 4 watts per kilogram, they're at that tempo pace for them. And so Mail now is going to have to really go, as a few of them are definitely going to have kicks into that 7, 8, 9 watts per kilogram to attack into this climb. 2.9% gradient. It's not much, but it's enough to cause a little bit of a gap now. And you can see Comrade here, 4.1, sitting in Legistron. Is anybody at the back of this group going to have any trouble hanging on at this point? It's not a very long climb. You do see Lindroth at the back just hanging in, also coming out of Sweden, but not riding for the Swedish team, it looks like here. And now up in that 7.7, making his way back to the front, 167 beats per minute, as you can see. So, and we are seeing a couple more comments coming in. Brent Buxton asking how much climbing. I'll give you guys a few of you probably just tuning in. It's all flat today. We're out on the Watopia Volcano flat. Velo Viewer, powered by Strava, actually gave us a nice little map here of exactly what it looks like. We'll go ahead and show you guys real quick the graphic here as it plays out. And as you can see, very flat. It gets even below sea level at points, as you can see. Extremely flat. I think it's right around the 8-mile mark, I believe, right around an 8-mile mark. So definitely super flat, not a lot of climbing. The only places you can see those little S-turns and into the Italian village is really the only place that we see some big gradient change on the top of the page as it right this second. And so definitely not a lot of elevation gain out on the flat course. It's actually the flattest course out on Watopia that they have because of the skipping of the S's. So the flattest course used to be the Watopia flat, but now that the Volcano flat has been opened, that is actually the flattest course, because you hit up at Ocean Boulevard, and then instead of going straight through, if you're on the forward, instead of going straight through on the into the S's through the sprint banner, you take a left-hand turn by the fountain and head into the Volcano flat, and you pretty much eliminate almost all the elevation. There's just another little 3 or 4% gradient that you climb into the Volcano with, and then you go back out of the S's on the other side. So very flat course, really great course for the sprinters as long as they can hang on through all of the attacks. And let's see, hey Nathan, driving home, listening to the race commentary, cool. Good to hear, Trevor. Good to have you here with us. And let's see here, in about 50 kilometers, Brent, like in one ride or cumulative, like we say. Let's see here, there's a lot of questions coming through here. Great to see all the questions. And Mark just says, do you get specific kits, bike rewards for doing the races? No, but that is a great comment suggestion. And if you would like to put suggestions out there, you do get some for some events. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I should have said no. There are some events that if you participate in them, that have happened in the past, that you do open up some things. And then there are other challenges that you can do as well to open up either bikes or kits or different kinds of things in the game. So excuse me, but there aren't any openings up for this specific race. The community organized events do not have any that you can open up, but you do get the rewards for leveling up for sure, or completing the challenges. So looking back through over the shoulder here, you can see the riders actually, while we were looking over the shoulder in a moment there, making their way over to the Italian village for the last time. This is the final lap, and the riders are going to definitely be thinking at this point about how do I save as much energy and then get away. If I'm not a sprinter and I don't have the confidence in this sprint, I'm getting a little bit jittery at this point, thinking, how am I going to win this thing? Because I don't got the kind of power that some of these boys got in order to kick away from this group and win it in an all-out sprint. And so a few of these riders may be thinking, my peak power is nowhere near some of these other riders. I've raced with them before. This is going to be too much for me out on course. And they're thinking about places out on course like the Italian Village coming up. We can't get a nice shot here because of all the rain coming through here, as you can see, but the helicopter is definitely having trouble through all the fog, but it'll probably clear up in just a minute or two here, and we'll be able to see the shot as we come through over toward the Italian Village. But we do see Lindroth now at the front, just holding things down. Wallstrom as well, playing the team domestique maybe a little bit here at the front, as they head past the lake here on the right hand side in the marina section. Mail here at the back now from the KRT, resting up after that attack he did going into this lap. 1.7 watts per kilogram. You can see the tactics here kind of starting to make themselves a little bit obvious. 1.7 at the back. De Silva now 3.9. I think this is the slowest any of the riders have gone throughout the race today. And we are seeing right on Nathan from Michael Powell. Good to see you, Michael Powell, in the Facebook chat. Hey, Nathan, Mayo came second in the Norwegian Mountain Bike Cup 2 years ago. He has a good kick. Thank you so much for the information there, Albeck. That's really cool. Wow, so super strong rider. It looks like V Mail. So getting some crazy workout here getting a great workout here. It looks like mountain biker. It's great to hear and see. You know, that's funny. You would think. I actually meet so many fellow mountain bikers actually out in Zwift. Definitely a multi-discipline platform within cycling. It seems like all the cyclists are trying to get their riding in this new way of cycling on this platform with Cycling Made Social, finding a great training tool within these races. I see it over and over again. Kim Little, another example of a rider who is using this for his training for the mountain bike. Myself using this for my training on the mountain bike as well. And it looks like Mail here now using it for his training, but getting dropped off a little bit by 1 second. He's going to have to be watching out here. And he is able to hang on, it looks like, through the climb. And now 6.6 watts per kilogram. Looks like he's just playing it smart at this point, sitting in amongst the group. And at the front, we do have Lagerstrand trying to stretch the legs a little bit here. 5.2 watts per kilogram. Xander now, Kamarek now 2.5, 158 beats per minute there. E. Vandenberg from the BRT. The two BRT boys now trying to make some things happen. And we were talking about early on in this race about the series, where the series standings were at. And let's definitely take one more look at that as this has broken apart. There was a couple too many riders probably to really have any discussion about it, but it looks like actually what's interesting is that the only rider in this front group that I am seeing right now that is a part of the series that is a part of the A Racing series within the top 10 is actually Kamarek. Kamarek actually right now has a huge opportunity. Nobody in this front group is anywhere near him in points in the A's. Lagerstrand has 8 races actually with 19 points. So Lagerstrand actually the next one, and Ridholm as well. Ridholm has 24, sitting in 14th place. But Standa actually from the BRT team right now with 2 teammates with him has a huge opportunity. I have a feeling that we're most likely going to see some serious tactics from that team to try and pull this off today. But the Swedish team here may be trying to grab a couple points as well. Standing with 99 points total, sitting in second place. He is a solid 68 points, though, behind Philip Diner, who didn't show up to the race today. So with just 2 more races left in the series after this one, Kamarek definitely needs to make the most of this final few K right now. And this might put on the line whether or not he can win the series. I'm not sure if Philip is going to be showing up to any more of the races, and so he's got to really capitalize on these moments as they're entering into Ocean Boulevard. You can see they're just going to have, it's 32.4K, so they've got 5K left to go. And as far as sprinting goes, let me go ahead and take a look at Standa's peak powers here. And this boy can sprint. He has gone over 1,000 watts out on Zwift. His best peak power ever, it looks like, is going to be into 1K or so. 900 or 800 or so, it looks like, is the usual. Looks like on a good day when he rests up. See, I can see it too. On a day that he does 4.19 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race, he had the highest kick that he ever had. So he didn't burn too many matches during the race and was able to sit in a little bit. But on a day where he's putting out a little bit higher into that 4.5, pushing into that 4.7, we are seeing much lower into that 700, 800 800, 900 for his peak powers over the duration of the race. So definitely, we're going to have to take a look. Actually, that'll be interesting to see what he's put out so far throughout the race now. We are seeing just 4.0, and I have a feeling we're going to see a monstrous kick at 140 beats per minute as we look through the rest of the riders here. Who's on the rivet, who's not. 163 here coming from Wallstrom. Wallstrom coming from that SZ team, maybe working for his teammates. He's about 30 beats off his max. Standa definitely way off his max, down into that 140 because he beats out about 194. I've raced against Standa a lot in the KISS 100 race. Definitely a rider to watch out for. I've gone to the line with this boy. He can definitely sprint out on Zwift. So Stallions here from the BRT is in there as well, going to be racing and riding for his teammates. Now the question is, who is going to be working for who? The jitters are going to definitely be happening here at this point, and I don't think we're going to see any attacks from anybody because there's no uphill gradient unless the riders start sending somebody off the front one by one and trying to really loosen up those legs. Amongst these riders, though, it's only going to be Comrade that really has any kind of need for a lead out, and it's going to be up to the other riders to be sending people off the front actually, and try and burn a few of those matches of Comrade and of the BRT riders, because I think it's in the BRT riders' interest at this point to kind of just keep things together, allow Standard to do his work, create a lead out train, and have that classic sprint go down. I think it's up to the other riders at this point to try and throw a few riders off the front and make those BRT riders burn a few matches so that there can't be that lead out. Make them try and chase something down and maybe try and make something stick at this point. There's got to be a lot of confidence in your sprint at this point if you're not throwing any riders off the front. It looks like they're all comfortable just to sit in though and make it happen. A group sprint might be what it comes down to, of course, out on the Vulcano flat today. Let's start hearing your predictions. There's a lot of riders in here still. We've got about 17 riders or so, I believe, or maybe 16 riders or so. So what's going to come down to? And Alexander Coop says will be a sprint decision between Male and Comrade. So that is the prediction coming in from Alexander Coop from the WBR team, and also a strong rider that I've raced against out on Zwift actually in that KISS 100. Good to see you, Alexander Coop. Hope you're having a great day. Ridholm, now this is it right here. I think this is what we were talking about, the attack that needed to go from a little ways out. Can he make it stick here? Ridholm, 13 watts per kilogram, getting an immediate 2 seconds. Comrade goes to the front and just watches, and if he just lets this go at this point, Legestrand though, what's he doing? Don't pull your teammate back in, and he's not. What a smart move. He kicks a little bit, makes it look like somebody needs to follow, and nothing. 7 seconds immediately in the last 2K. This could stick, boys and girls. This might happen, actually. Legistron now trying to stay on terms for a moment. They're just going to be following wheels. None of the SC boys are going to make the chase at this point. Stellings from the BRT needs to make it happen. As we said, the lead-out train needs to happen from the BRT boys. Vandenberg now making his way to the front. Male from the KRT here is there as well. It is 11 seconds. Ridholm, though, I think there might have been a wrench thrown into everybody's plans from that SZ team now as the Swedish rider continues to go off the front. We'll give him some encouragement now. It's 12 seconds. Comrade now sees the writing on the wall and says it's going to be GG unless he closes it down all by himself. It looks like the other BRT boys just cannot make it happen. He's got to do it all by himself. Jay Hansen now getting the benefit of these riders battling it out against each other, actually, as these two teams go head to head, and Hansen says, sure, let's see it happen here. Male now sitting in from the KRT as well, but it's 13 seconds from Ridholm. What an amazing attack from 2K out. Continues now all the way to the uphill gradient now. Now Comrade, though, this is the moment that he needs to shine. And did we get actually turned around for a moment here? Let's see if we can turn it back around, as somehow we ended up into the TKBE ride, and now we're back with it here. Jay Hansen now attacking 8 watts per kilogram. De Silva's there as well. Comrade now all into the orange. It's 9 seconds out to Ridholm. Ridholm now being chased down with that uphill gradient. He might not be able to hold on to it. What's going to be the continuance? 46 kilometers per hour, 50 kilometers per hour coming from shore. Now the group is really starting to work, and a few are getting shed off the back, as this is going to be the moments of truth in the race. You can see already a rider, Stellings, now falling way off the back here at 3.6 watts per kilogram. Vandenberg is now falling off the back as well. Wallstrom unable to hang on on. It looks, oh, just barely hanging on, but it is going to be Vandenberg here is not going to be able to hang on. Xander's there as well, sitting in 182 beats per minute. Wallstrom, 172. Schroer, Ferguson, De Silva, Legistron, Petit is there, Hansen, Mail, and Comrick. It's only 6 seconds. 4.2 watts per kilogram. He gave everything he had to that moment, but the prediction from Coop was real. That's for sure, boys and girls, as Mail's putting out 9 watts per kilogram, 183 beats per minute, throwing all on the line, and Comrick sitting in on the wheel. He has that draft at this point. 2 seconds is the difference now, and they are gone. Will Ridholm be able to hang on as they come by? 7 watts per kilogram, but it looks like it's curtains for Ridholm. Mail, 9 watts per kilogram, 187 beats per minute. Looks like he is gone. Comrick's got to close it down now. This is the series on the line, but V-Mail for the KRT team, 11 watts per kilogram out of Norway. The MTB boy that we were talking about, the Norwegian, able to pull it off today as we look over his shoulder here. KRT again has another star, it looks like, out on course. What an amazing effort. 190 as he crosses the line. Comrick for second, Hansen for third, Schroer for fourth, and it will be De Silva coming in for 5th place in the A race today. What, I mean, the fireworks just went there, boys and girls. It was just absolutely crazy. When they went, I mean, everything was so calm, right? It was this huge calm before the storm, and suddenly, bam, it was just monsoon. Things just went crazy, full-on tornado style there, out on course. Ridholm went, and that was really a really huge, valiant effort, actually, from Ridholm, as he went and tried to go from way out. BRT tried closing it down, was unable to do so. Comrick just made it happen all on his own and actually pulled, it looked like, Mail right into that sprint with him, it looked like. And now it looks like Kaminsky here with maybe 1 lap to go. We're going to have to do some turn around here out on course, try and find the rest of the riders. What an amazing effort, though. Great sprinting. And Dag Alvek says, good job to Vidar Mail. And says, told you. Yeah, that was a great prediction, actually. Great prediction. And Alexander Koop as well with the Mail Comrick. It looks like you race against those boys quite a lot out on course. So we definitely want to catch the end of the B race in just a second here. So I'm going to see if I can click around a little bit to find out what is going on with them. Diane Breaker says nice as well. Good to see Diane still hanging out in the channel. So moving through here, though, let's go ahead and see if we can get over to the rest of the racers in the SZ. I did see a rider with SZ in their name. We'll see if we can go ahead and find them as we are waiting for the rest of the racers to come in. Let's go ahead and see where things are at according to ZwiftPower.com. We can bring in for you the results. Actually, I'll head on over into the Vulcano here real quick while we wait for the rest of the riders. So it does look like Vidar Mail with the win here in the SZR race number 9, I believe. Yep, number 9. Out here, maybe number 10. I think maybe number 10, actually. Excuse me, number 10. Vidar Mail, followed by Standa Comrick, and then Jacob Hansen. Solid ride coming from Jacob, just 5 seconds back, though. Richard De Silva, then. Matthew Ferguson in there for 5th place. Nikolai Schroer for 6th. John Ridholm for 7th. Carl Axel Xander for 8th. And then we do have Gonzague Petit there coming in out of France for 9th. Nicholas Legistron for 10th place. Nice job to him. And then we will have Johan Wallstrom, Vandenberg, and then Steve Stellings. They were all in that lead group, 13 riders total in the lead group. Mark Kolkoff, it looks like, still holding strong. The last time we saw about 14, let's see, well, I'm not sure what the gap was to him. It does look like it was being closed down very quickly, though, by Nordstrom and Sundstrom. So it looks like they may be closing it down. We'll have to wait and see how things are going to play out. We did have a few riders just cross the line, actually. We did just miss that sprint. It does look like Mark Kolkoff was able to hold off a few riders in that B category. He was caught, though, I believe, in the SZR race. So we'll have to wait and see what the result was for those B riders. We just barely missed it. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I did not catch the finish of that B race. I'll move back here to see if we can catch a few others as they're coming across the line here in just a moment. We will use our Elliott here. This is a nice one, I believe, to sit on as he's hanging out right where we need him to while the riders do populate behind him. We do have El Vanderhog, it looks like here. Den Hartog, excuse me, coming in across the line here in just a moment. Anybody else? Let's go ahead and see. Nope, these all are not riders that are part of the race right now, but we do have results coming in the B category. Let's go ahead and see how it's going to end up. It does look like Koklov, as we were saying, I believe did hold off the rest of the riders here. I do not believe Pete Hicks was a part of the B. He didn't have B in his name according to this, but it does not look like Nordstrom, who was a B rider, definitely came in right behind him there. There's the finish line, actually, I believe. So solid effort between all of them. It was, it looks like just a 7-second gap at the finish, 9 seconds only between Nordstrom and Koklov in that B category race. So that looks to be how it played out in the B race. In the C race, it does look like we do have G Vest and a few others about to be crossing the finish line in just a moment here, as they're making their way around out on course for their third lap. I do see Trout here. S Trout now just going to be bringing it in, it looks like, as a part of the B race. We are waiting for a few more to populate out on course here, and we will catch the finish, I hope, of the C's here in just a minute. It does look like we do have F. Ornlid as well as M. Etz, D. James as well, and then Alquist, Grout, all a part of a chase group, bringing it in that B and C category race in just a moment. I definitely want to give a shout out to the women who are out there out on course. We do have Kay Catronis actually coming from Team ODZ. Good to see her out on course here. She's the first woman, it looks like, that's going to be crossing the line, taking first place amongst the women for Team ODZ coming out of the United States. Let's go ahead and move back here and see what's happening with... I don't have any more riders populating just yet. But in the live results, we do see she is the current leader amongst the women. Any other women out on course today? It doesn't look like Catronas. And then it's going to be actually Van der Sengen coming out of Netherlands for second place amongst women. And then E East from the BRT team actually for third place amongst the women as well. Still a lot of riders out on course. We're going to go ahead and wait up for a few of them and see if we can catch any more of the finishers as they make their way to the line. We do have, it looks like Quentin Lefebvre from Vision Cycling out on course. Maybe warming up for a race or a ride. Definitely getting ready for a big announcement. Tomorrow, boys and girls, we're going to have a huge announcement. Make sure to hang out for the XRS. Now we do have Daz here. It does look like 9.8 watts per kilogram. One last little dash to the line. G. William trying to hang on. Rich is there as well. It looks like that will be the finish order. Nice job to Daz, followed by Willem and then Rich. As we were saying right before that sprint, though, make sure to be here for the XRS. We will be covering it live, and we will have a big announcement coming up with the launch of some amazing in real life events coming up here in the next couple months. So make sure to hang out for that XRS, and a little bit of announcement maybe about that Mr. Quentin Lefebvre in there as well. So Van der Zee is here with F. Blom coming out of Sweden, just crossing the line in the race here just now. Nice job, Nathan. Hope to see you next time on course. Alexander Coop, thanks, Alexander. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. And David Kirsch saying, geez, great job coming from Robert Burke. And great job to all the racers out there for sure. Always great to see them. It looks like Andy Self out there on course. There's got to be some sort of ride going in the reverse right now. Andy Self, lots of really well-known old school racers and riders that I've seen all the way since early beta, doing something out on course right now on the reverse, it looks like. As we click through here, it looks like we're not going to be able to catch a whole lot of coverage for the rest of the race, so I think we're going to call it for the day, boys and girls. We will be doing some upgrades to the setup here really soon so that we can get multiple feeds from the races, actually, so we can cover more of the categories moment by moment. So while the action from the A race kind of settles down a little bit and we've got a little bit more leeway to move to another where there's more action going on, we'll definitely have more B, C, and D category coverage coming for you in the coming weeks. If you haven't done so already, make sure to go on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com and check out all of the links to the places that you can find our VODs, which is YouTube is the main place that you definitely want to check out the VODs. Live streaming over on twitch.tv, as well as our Facebook page where you can see on-the-go announcements and also live streaming of other Zwift Community Live broadcasts that we bring to the world of Zwift, to the world of live streaming. Coming up next on Zwift Community Live, there is a schedule that is updated with what is the official. We do add broadcasts in here and there. As you can see, the SZR is not out there today. But tomorrow we've got a full schedule with Kiss Down Under happening actually 3:30 a.m. CST. So we'll be covering that. We do have the Kiss Americas as well as the XRS tomorrow. So full schedule, I mean 3:30 a.m., 5 a.m., 1:30 p.m., 3 p.m., and then Zwift Fitness Women's Gateway Ride. So something new that has been added actually by Zuzkana Ashley Berscom. She does the drop lactic acid with Zuzkana 10 p.m. on Fridays, but now she has added into her schedule the Zwift Fitness Women's Gateway Ride. So Zwift Fitness, which is a Facebook group, in conjunction with Zuzkana, has put together this ride, and I believe it's a sub 1.5 ride. So it's an introductory ride for women to get involved into the world of group riding out on Zwift. So definitely something you want to check out on Zwift Community Live tomorrow. One of the new additions that we have to the world of our broadcasting is going to be really cool. Really great to see her taking that initiative. Definitely 1.5 watts per kilogram, and I believe she does have a Discord, so hopefully we can get some information out there about how you guys can, how you gals can interact with her live, actually, and she can kind of coach things along. But definitely going to be the ride leader for that. You guys will be able to jump in with her and follow that along. If you got any questions or anything, make sure to shoot them at us. If you'd like to have any requests or want to shoot anything that you would like to be highlighted with Zwift Community Live, make sure to shoot that at us either through our Facebook messages. We check those immediately. We get back to you very quickly. Or you can shoot them through Twitter at ZCommunityLive. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate everybody's comments. And as always, great job to the racers. And ride on, everyone.